The Kamloops Amateur Radio Club has built and is expanding a communication network that can be used to help in emergency situations. Club President Miles Bruns says the club has a series of mountaintop repeaters around the region that have been used in past decades during emergency events like the 2003 North Thompson wildfires. As the club has modernized their infrastructure, they recently reached out to the Thompson-Nicola Regional District to let them know that the network is available for use if needed.
And so our hope reaching out to the TNRD is to say, look, our network is in the early stages. It's not everywhere in the TNRD, but there are certain communities like Logan Lake and Merritt and Cache Creek or Sun Peaks as an example, that we might be able to provide backup broadband so that if that outage happened in Sun Peaks, for example, they could tie into our network.
Bruns said the radio club's network would be just one of many possible layers of communication that would help in the event of an emergency.
If there is a major emergency someplace in the province, we're able, regardless of what happens, we have all these different cascading layers of ways to communicate, from satellites to HF radio to VHF radio to UHF to, I always say to people, tin can and string if that's what it needs.
At this point, the mountaintop repeaters are maintained by a small group of dedicated volunteers.
But it's a fair amount of work because these are mountaintop. They're not necessarily accessible all the time of the year. The last time I went up to Mount Lolo, it was about a 3.5-hour snowshoe hauling tools in a kid's toboggan to get up there.
Bruns said his experience in emergency response has helped him see how valuable a communications network like this can be.
Having responded to a number of emergency events through my day job with the province, I've seen how impactful these things can be, particularly when people lose, communication. They can't talk. And never mind just at the local government or provincial government thing, but even at the local level, like people can't talk to their loved ones. They can't tell their loved ones, okay. That is something that amateur radio does. That's why I reached out to the TNRD, or we reached out to the TNRD, is to say, hey, can we give back to something potentially to the communities that we live in?
For Caston at Kamloops, I'm Kristen Holiday.